Alright guys, welcome back to Diablo 3 Season 3. This is Episode 2 of the Barbarian. And I just did a little bit of quick upgrading to my, to Hadrig Aemon, my blacksmith. And I crafted a adventuring broadaxe of Starlight. I don't usually deal with arcane damage. On my wizard, I bounced between ice damage a lot. And other elements, but mostly ice damage. And my Crusader or Templar, I mixed those up. I normally just did holy damage. I'm sorry, I'm fixing my microphone, so if you hear noises, that's why. And with the Barbarian, I tend to stick around fire damage, but it varies depending on what set of skills I have and what my weapon has on it. So arcane damage is arcane is that's what I usually switch off between arcane and cold damage with my sorceress, but this will work for the time being. And then let's damn, I can't craft a new shield, but I can do chest armor since I don't really have anything good there. So let's quickly craft something in that slot. Immediately better. I'll take it. And then let's break down everything else because it's a vicious cycle. You craft stuff and you break down the old items. That's just how it works. There's nothing you could do about it. So don't try to fight it, I guess. All right. Bounty 3, blood and iron. Okay. 2 objectives and a cursed chest. So immediately good results. Rescue the captured iron wolves and slay the fallen guarding the iron wolf prisoners. Well, let's go ahead and do this first. Damn, too bad I don't have my big AoE move on. This would be very helpful. So this one's more simple than the elites. It's just slay the enemies. Ooh, got that close. If I would have had my AoE, my basic AoE attack on, that probably would have gone so close to the wire. All right. So, of course, a better sword. I just found a better sword after I crafted my axe. Early on, that's going to be something that's going to happen quite often. Ooh, I crafted something kind of nice and shiny. Nope, bullshit. Nope, you don't get that, and fuck you. Yeah. But I found a helmet, which is nice. One thing I can't do right now is when I did Season 2, I got my Sorceress to max level. But when I started my Templar, I had, in my stash, I had high level attack gems. And the first weapon that I found with a slot, a socket, I put that gem in, and I immediately did massive amounts of damage for a really long time. Unfortunately, that's not something I'm going to be able to do here because Season 3 just started, so I haven't had a chance to find any gems yet. But be assured, when I start finding good attack gems, I'm going to start doing massive amounts of damage. So I don't like this immediately. I don't like this pack of wolves. It makes me want to put back on my AoE, but thankfully also the Templar that I brought with me is helping heal me. Come on, focus. I gotta like chip away at their numbers. Stun them and freeze them when I can. Rend them. I guess also the hammer would be a good alternative. Instead of a basic AoE, it'll be my secondary AoE. But I dealt with these guys all right, I guess. Just lots of damage because of their numbers. All right, guy. Oh, yeah. Are you coming with me now? Sweet. This is a new one, I think. This is one of the new bounties they might have added. Because I don't remember rescuing people in this area and them coming with me. Though. Oh, yeah. He's helping me fight. Sweet. I don't know if he can die. So don't die, dude, but okay. And then there we go. A new move. Overpower. Deal 380% weapon damage to all enemies within 9 yards. Another good AoE attacking move. The Barbarian does get a lot of control in AoE shouts and attacks, so that's kind of where his damage lies. But also, did we get runes? Yes, we did. So Cleave got a rune for Rapture, or Rupture? It's fucking Rupture. My brain just broke. Reputer? No, it's fucking Rupture, not Reputer. Okay, anyways. Enemies slain by Cleave explode, causing 106 weapon damage as fire to all other enemies in 8 yards. So you can also see why fire becomes one of my main... Never mind, I take that back, because the first two were fire, but then physical, lightning, cold, yeah. It didn't help what I was trying to say. And then Hammer of the Ancients got its first rune. Rolling Thunder. Create a shockwave that deals 505% weapon damage to all enemies within 22 yards in front of you, whereas Rend kind of hits all around you within 12 yards. This one has to hit in front of you, so you got to keep that in mind, though it's nice and powerful. Ground Stomp is nice, but Leap is better. Leap into the air, dealing 180% weapon damage to all enemies within 8 yards of your destination and slowing their movement speed by 60% for 3 yards. But it also allows you to leap and jump over obstacles. One of my favorite Barbarian skills in Diablo 2, and they kept it here. Thank God. And then we just unlocked Overpower. Okay, let's continue on. I love having this posse of wizards follow me around and help me attack things. I wish I had these guys forever. That would be pretty awesome. But no, that unfortunately they will not last past this bounty. Also, didn't have the rune selected for Hammer of the Ancients. I feel a little dumb. I was wondering why it looked the same. Okay, now we got to do a little bit of discovery, trying to find the 3 other wizards. Ah, yeah. See, Hammer looks a little bit different now. Okay, I started an event, apparently. Prisoners of Khmer. I think by triggering whatever this was right here, I triggered this new, or to me new. I don't know if it's actually new. I don't remember it. I can't remember everything in this game. But apparently I now have a side quest to free 3 other captives. Fine by me. More experience to go around. And gold. More experience and gold. Oh. I might get hit for the first time. Or die for the first time. Ooh. We got our first rare item, the Slipknot Crypt. It's a Barbarian belt. Gain 5 life per fury spent and 2 max fury. And lots of damage, toughness, and recovery upgrades. I will take it. That will help me do more damage and keep alive faster, or longer. Keep alive fast? That doesn't even make sense. Sometimes my brain just says shit and it kind of makes sense. Sometimes. That's good. So let's free these guys. Okay, what are you... Oh, you're attacking that guy up there. Okay, now kill Bremic the Overlord. Okay, that's... Yo, Jesus. Okay, this is going to be a hard fight. And by hard, I don't particularly mean like he's going to do a lot of damage, or, you know, it's just going to be a long fight. This is our first purple epic mob. You know, this is when, you know, the higher their tier goes, the more like skills they have, and like unmerciful slave master, like the more prefixes and suffixes that they have attached to them, and it's it gets to be a lot. And their base stats and percentages are higher as a result as well. Haha. All right, we are level 10. Killed him. Prisoners of Khmer. So we got also the achievement for doing that side quest. Wait, I just picked... I did pick something up. There are boots. Finally, we got boots for the first time. So now we're not just walking on our feet. All right, level 10, also a good milestone for us. Enemies that hit or are hit by the Templar are slowed by 80% and regenerate 14 life per second for you and the Templar. That is really good. And as we level, it's going to be more than 14 life per second. So, and then we get Pound of Flesh, gain 50% additional life from health globes, and Ruthless, you deal 40% additional damage to enemies below 30% health. So there's kind of a build strategy for the Barbarian that is surrounded by health globes. You get passive and skills and legendary item skills that will help you spawn more globes, health globes, and you get more health for the globes. But then also like how much you heal from the health globes. There's like a skill or a passive that increases your damage by a percentage of that amount. And every time you gain a health globe, you get some buff. I haven't really gotten into that whole like rabbit hole because it's pretty big, but the first two that we get are kind of the first two passives we get are kind of meh. So you deal deal 40% additional damage to enemies below 30% health. That is going to be helpful, but you have to get them down below 40% health. Either they're going to die quickly anyways, or it's going to be useful for bosses mostly. Actually, we probably will be able to see it in this guy here. So he's almost at 40%, 50, 40, and then I just start doing way more damage to him. So yeah, it will be helpful, but there are passives later on that are more helpful, I guess is my point. Okay, so I'm in the thick of it, and another strategy for the Barbarian because of Leap is if you are in the middle of a thick of it, which I don't think I'm going to die because my health regen got a lot higher, especially with the Templars. Is the Templar down? No, he's not. But with the health regen that I've now got because of him. But in the middle of this fight, if it was got to be too much, I could just leap out of the battle like that and recover some health. So that's also something, a good idea to keep Leap on your taskbar, your ability bar. Oh, that was a fight that I hated, but beat him. Didn't get anything relatively decent out of it. So far, not spectacular gear, but that's okay. Frenzy, here we go. I like Frenzy better than these two, but I like Weapon Throw the best, but we won't even get to that until level 17, and it won't become my favorite until I unlock a specific rune. But Frenzy, swing for 220% weapon damage. Frenzy's attack speed increases by 15% for 4 seconds with each swing. This effect stacks up to 5 times. So the more you use it, the faster you get at using it. So it becomes one of my favorite moves because you can swing it and use it really quickly, and it's kind of nice. Rend got its first rune, increased the range of Rend to hit all enemies within 18 yards, and Rend's damage turns into fire. But we're going to go ahead and keep it at Hammer of the Ancients because Rend is still not a particularly good move that I want to use. So here you can see with it at level 5, I'm swinging, or it's stacked up to 5. I'm swinging relatively pretty quick. It's kind of nice. At level 1, you can see it's relatively slow, but it quickly gets very fast. And with some of its runes later on, it can be a pretty decent damage dealing attack that that builds my rage instead of costing me rage, which is which I guess is something about the Barbarian we didn't go over. Most classes, you have a resource that you spend that, you know, it starts at 100 and you deplete it to 0. The Barbarian is the other way around. He'll start at 0 and you increase it to 100. So it doesn't really change the dynamic all that much, except for that if I'm at 0 Fury, I have to open up with a move that will generate me Fury instead of opening up with the skill that could potentially spend my Fury. So the dichotomy just changes a little bit in the order in which you do things, but ultimately doesn't really change too much fundamentally. Okay, let's check the storage cellar, because like I talked about a little bit earlier, you can potentially spawn goblins in a small enclosed area like this, because you're just tripping the RNG every time you have to load a new area that, you know, because it's all randomly generated. But another thing too is that you can spawn elite mobs in here, and that's pretty decent if you want to try to get some gear to drop, at least some higher leveled gear. So that can also work in two different ways: goblins and specific mobs. Oh, and quests like Lugo the Miner. Totally, well, not a quest, but in this instance is a merchant apparently. So really, really random. So normally I would just craft a weapon if I wanted to go for one, but I don't have a lot of healing of crafting materials, so I'm gonna go ahead and buy this. Oh, that's a two-handed axe. I don't want two-handed. I just now realized. I'm gonna go with this this faux bane here. It's a one-handed axe. It'll give me a little bit more damage, which I'm trying to edge out more and more as I go. And I was gonna say I'll sell one of my items to even out what it cost, but that's not gonna happen because I don't. These don't sell for a lot, and I still can't believe I haven't found some of my gear. Like I haven't found a shield yet. I still haven't found shoulders, which I guess those are one of the last things that you find. There was a little bit of bleed over from WoW to Diablo 3 in the fact like shoulders. There are specific levels at which things unlock in WoW, like gear. Level 1, you have like your basic gear, and then 2, you get a little bit more. Level 3, you get a little bit more. Level 4, you get a little bit more, and so on and so forth. And shoulders are one of like the last things to unlock in most MMOs, not just WoW, but specifically WoW because Blizzard developed it. So that's kind of interesting that I don't start finding shoulders generally in most of my playthroughs until a little bit later. And I don't know if that's just because RNG likes to screw me over sometimes, but or I'm reading a little bit too much into it, but that's what I see at least. More rotting cellars. But yay, look, a quest, I hope. A side quest. So apparently we have to kill these people. Ooh. Okay, that changed over very quickly to demon lurkers. It looked like there were Templars and guards. Oh, we turned into a merchant, so it's another merchant. I'm starting to see a little bit of a theme in this area, and also those books that will start and you'll hear voices talking. Those are really cool for backstory, and if you're really interested and you're playing the game, turn up your volume and don't close them like I do. I mostly collect them and close them just because I've heard a majority of them, and I'm just collecting them to pop certain achievements in Act 1, 2, 3, and I actually think all of the acts. There are specific books that you find, and they're in a series, and you can find them in different areas like this. You'll find them lost in satchels or backpacks, and this one is about Belial, the Lord of Lies. And there might be 2 or 3 or 4 of them, and if I collect all of them, I may get an achievement. So some of them are tied to achievements, some of them aren't, but ultimately they're just another collectible in the grand scheme of things. So normally I would focus on the surrounding enemies first and then go for like the elite mob. But this one happens to be one of the shamans that summons a lot of the mobs, at least the smaller mobs around here. So in this case, I kind of want to focus on him instead of everything surrounding him. Well, except for these fallen masters. I hate these guys. But those other little mobs that pop up, if they die, they die. But ultimately, he's my focus until then, I try to leave them alone. Ooh, finally, a shield. Royal Shield of the Lions was in there. Oh, and of course, it's a Crusader shield. I should have known by the look of it. Damn. First shield I find, and it's for goddamn Crusaders, not Barbarians. Or not general use shields, rather. Alright, unlocked a couple of runes. So we now have Seismic Slam, which can take the place of Hammer of the Ancients. Slam the ground and cause a wave of destruction that deals 620% weapon damage to enemies up to 45 yards in front of you. We're going to go ahead and use that for now. And Ground Stomp got its first rune, Deafening Crash. Enemies in the area have their movement speed slowed by 80% for 8 seconds after they recover from being stunned. So their general debuff impairment is increased and lengthened, which is kind of cool. Well, they're stunned for 4 seconds, and then slowed for 8 seconds after that. But I mean, they're debuffed for a decent amount of time now. Another thing too, in the options, make sure that you check selective mode or rather elective mode for your skills, because then you can assign any one of your skills to any of your slots where normally you'd be locked in to a specific skill in a specific slot. But say if I want 2 of the, which I don't necessarily, but if I want 2 skills out of my might category, with elective mode on, I can do that. With elective mode off, I'm locked into how they want my skills to be. All right, I found finally my first Barbarian specific weapon, and it's a 2-handed weapon. I tend to try to stay away from 2-handed weapons because I think they're really slow, especially as the Barbarian. But we're going to go ahead and equip it for now because it gives me a massive damage boost. But I also want to show off the Barbarian mighty weapons. They're really cool, and damn if this bounty isn't taking forever. Frenzy really does make a difference when you have a 2-handed weapon. With 1-handed weapon, the speed increase is noticeable, but you're relatively quick to attack anyways. With a 2-handed weapon, though, being at the 5th stack makes a big difference. All right, there's my first death. Woohoo! I didn't press my potion button fast enough, apparently. All right, finally, the last captive. Okay, I know that I said in the last, or at the beginning of this episode, or at the end of the last episode, that we were going to, that I was going to do the rest of the bounties in this episode, but this one bounty took for so goddamn long that I'm just gonna go ahead and end it here. Even with all of the edits and speed ups, it's probably still going to be at least a 22-minute video, which is about what I like to aim for in the 20 to 28-minute range. So thank you guys very much for watching this episode. If you liked this episode, please consider giving it a thumbs up, commenting on it, and sending it to your friends. I would greatly appreciate it. Remember, play more games, and I'll see you next time. Have a good day.